My name is Ethan Carter. I'm 32, from Seattle. And this is the story I've never told anyone. I call it, he asked me, do you still think about that night? It started on an ordinary Tuesday, or at least it seemed ordinary. The kind of gray, rain-soaked morning where Seattle feels like a giant watercolor painting left out in a storm. I was sipping my third cup of coffee at Grayson & Cole, the marketing agency where I'd worked for 6 years, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me swipe. Ethan, a familiar voice, male, calm, but with an undercurrent of tension. For a split second, my brain scrambled, scanning memories like flipping through old photo albums. Then it hit me. No, can't be. Daniel, I breathed. Silence. Then, with a slight, almost cruel chuckle, he said, do you still think about that night? My throat tightened. Why are you calling me now? But he didn't answer. The line went dead. I stared at my phone, heart hammering like I'd run a marathon. 7 years. 7 years since that night. The night I buried everything I felt, everything I knew, under layers of routine, work, and carefully curated silence. And now, just like that, the past had clawed its way back. 7 years earlier. I was 25 when I first met Daniel Harper. He was magnetic, sharp jawline, dark eyes that seemed to read you before you spoke, and that rare mix of charm and danger that made him unforgettable. He wasn't someone you met, he was someone you collided with. Back then, I was still figuring out who I was, climbing the corporate ladder, navigating office politics, pretending like I had it all together. But then there was her, Isabelle. She was everything Daniel wasn't. Gentle where he was intense. Light where he was shadow. A junior graphic designer just 2 months into the company when we met. Blonde waves tucked behind her ears, ocean blue eyes, and a nervous little laugh that made my chest tighten every time. We started out friendly. Coffee breaks, late nights finishing campaigns. That familiar slow burn of connection that goes from stolen glances to brushing fingertips to wondering if this is something real. But then, Daniel, what I didn't know, what no one in the office knew, was that Daniel and Isabelle had a past. A messy, complicated, unfinished past. It all came to a head one Friday night. The office party. Drinks flowed. Music played. Somewhere between midnight and 1 a.m., I saw them outside, under the street lamp, arguing. Daniel's hands gripped her arms. Not hard, but tight enough to make me push through the crowd. When Isabelle saw me, her face crumbled. Ethan, please, she whispered. Daniel turned, eyes narrowing. This doesn't concern you. The hell it doesn't, I shot back. And then the fight. Not physical. Worse. Words. Accusations. Secrets spilled like broken glass. Tell him, Izzy. Tell him how you still think about me. Daniel sneered. I don't. Her voice cracked. I don't think about you like that anymore. Liar. I saw it in her eyes. A flicker. A shadow. Something unresolved. That's the moment I realized loving someone doesn't always mean you're the only one holding space in their heart. We didn't speak after that night. Daniel disappeared. Isabelle withdrew. She left the agency 2 weeks later without even saying goodbye. Present day. And now, 7 years later, Daniel was back. Why? Before I could spiral further, a knock rattled my office door. Ethan, you've got a visitor. Mia, my assistant, poked her head in. She says it's urgent. My stomach flipped. Who? Mia frowned. She didn't say. Should I send her in? I nodded, pulse thundering in my ears. And then, the door opened. It was her, Isabelle. Time had been kind to her, and cruel at the same time. Her face, softer but shadowed by something heavy. Her hair shorter now, tucked beneath a gray wool hat. But those eyes, still the same piercing blue. Hi, she breathed. It's been a while. I stood there, speechless. For a heartbeat, the office around me dissolved. The fluorescent lights, the keyboard clicks, the white noise of mundane life, all gone. Just me and her. And every question I thought I'd buried came flooding back. Why are you here, Isabelle? My voice sounded colder than I meant. She blinked, hugging her coat tighter. Because Daniel's back in town. And Ethan, you need to know the truth about that night. My mouth went dry. What truth? Her lips trembled. It wasn't what you thought. It never was. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. The air between us was thick, filled with 7 years of unspoken words, regrets, and unanswered questions. Isabelle glanced around nervously, then back at me. Can we talk somewhere private? Not here. I grabbed my coat without saying a word. Let's go. At the cafe. We sat at a small corner table at Cafe Linden, the same place we used to grab coffee during those late office nights. Funny how life circles back to the same places, only the people are heavier, older, more damaged. The silence was suffocating until she finally spoke. Ethan, that night, Daniel made you believe something that wasn't true. Her fingers twisted the paper napkin until it tore. I wasn't with him, not in the way you thought. I frowned. But he said. She cut me off, eyes sharp. I know what he said, and I let you believe it. Because I was scared. Terrified, actually. Of what? I asked quietly. Her eyes lowered. Of him. My chest tightened. What are you saying? Isabelle leaned in, her voice barely above a whisper. Daniel wasn't just my ex. He was obsessive, controlling. When we dated, he was charming at first. But it turned dark. He would show up where I lived, call me nonstop. After I broke it off, I moved cities, changed jobs. And then, somehow, he ended up at Grayson and Cole. When I saw him there, I panicked. I thought maybe it was just coincidence. My hands clenched. Jesus, why didn't you tell me? I tried. That night, I wanted to. But when you walked out, I didn't know how to fix it. Her voice cracked. And when I left, it wasn't because I wanted to. It was because I had to. I leaned back, trying to process. All this time, I'd thought I was the one left behind. I'd built stories in my head that I wasn't enough, that she had chosen him. And now, why is Daniel back now? I asked. Why call me? Isabelle swallowed hard. Because he's unstable. I think he blames you. He always blamed anyone who got close to me. And Ethan, he's not just here to reminisce. She reached into her bag, pulling out an envelope. I found this taped to my apartment door last night. I unfolded the paper. One sentence, scrawled in sharp, jagged letters. Do you still think about that night? Because I do. Every damn day. My blood ran cold. I glanced at her. Did you call the police? Her silence was my answer. Isabelle? I sighed, running a hand through my hair. This isn't something you handle alone. She bit her lip. That's why I'm here. I don't know who else to trust. Her eyes softened. I know I hurt you, but you were the only person who ever made me feel safe. And right now, I need that more than anything. Back into the fire. The next few days were a blur. I couldn't focus at work. Every time my phone buzzed, my heart jumped. We reported the note, filed a complaint, but without a clear threat, the police couldn't do much. But then things escalated. Isabelle's car tires slashed. An anonymous email sent to my work account. You should have stayed out of this. You always had to play the hero. Let's see how that works out for you this time. My hands shook as I read it. For the first time in years, I felt something I hadn't felt since my father left when I was a kid. Real fear. Not for me, for her. I paced my apartment, phone pressed to my ear. Pick up. Pick up. Finally, click. Ethan? Isabelle's voice was breathless. Are you home? I asked urgently. Yes. Why? Lock the doors. Now. She paused. What's? A sudden crash in the background. Glass shattering. Isabelle screamed. Isabelle? Isabelle. The line went dead. I grabbed my keys, bolted out the door, and drove like hell, my mind racing faster than the speedometer. When I got to her place, her front window was shattered. The lock was broken. I pushed through the door. Isabelle? Silence. Then footsteps. Behind me. I turned, but too late. Something heavy slammed into my head. The world spun sideways. Darkness swallowed me. A flicker of light. I woke up tied to a chair. My vision swam, but as it cleared, I saw him, Daniel, leaning against the wall, arms crossed, smiling like the devil himself. "You should have stayed away, Ethan." His voice was calm, too calm. "But you always had to be the knight in shining armor, huh? Where's Isabelle?" I rasped. His smile widened. "Oh, she's fine. For now. Depends on you." I yanked against the ropes, panic clawing at me. "What do you want?" Daniel crouched in front of me, voice dropping. "Closure. Justice. Revenge. Call it whatever you want." His eyes darkened. "You ruined everything that night. You ruined it." I shot back. "You hurt her. You chased her away. You destroyed everything." For a split second, I saw it, beneath the madness, a flicker of something broken. Desperation. Loneliness. A man whose obsession had swallowed any trace of humanity. Then a crash. A door kicked open. "Seattle PD. Drop it." Daniel spun, too late. 2 officers tackled him to the ground. Another rushed over, cutting me free. I gasped, adrenaline flooding my chest as I stumbled to my feet. And there, standing behind the officers, Isabelle. Tears streaming down her face. Hands trembling, but safe. 3 weeks later, the restraining order was official. Daniel was in custody, facing charges for harassment, breaking and entering, assault. Sitting across from Isabelle at the same cafe, everything felt different. She reached for my hand. "Ethan, I never stopped thinking about you. About what could have been if..." Her voice broke. "If I hadn't let fear drive me away." I squeezed her fingers. "I thought I'd buried it all. But when you walked into my office that day, I realized some connections don't die. They just wait." She smiled through the tears. "Do you think we could try again? Start over?" I smiled back, heart pounding in that terrifying, wonderful way. Yeah, I think we can. Life has a cruel way of testing whether we really mean the things we say, whether love is just comfort, or whether it's something we fight for. I learned that sometimes the past doesn't stay buried. But when it comes back, you get a choice, to run or to face it. And sometimes, just sometimes, the things that break us are the same things that can put us back together.